Hi, I will show you the finance and billing engine of Splynx. It's located under Finance tab, and here we have a dashboard which shows us the current month and the last month statistics. We have transactions, we work also with payments and invoices. The whole system and the whole billing engine is built on transactions. So here we see 11 transactions from this month and 14 transactions from previous months. We can click on this transaction link, and then, or if we will click on that green tab as well, we will be moved to transaction section. Here is the list of transactions for the selected period, and we can sort it by date, and we can see that there are different types of transactions with a description. There are debit transactions and credit transactions. Debit transactions means when we provide a service and we charge for service, and credit transaction is the payments of or payment of customer. The same thing we can see per each customer. This is his deposit level, and these are transactions for a particular customer. We have again debit transactions for internet, and then we have credit transactions when we receive money from customer, and the deposit value is opposite to the balance value. So you can see that if we receive 800, then deposit is minus 800, and the balance is 1000, but deposit is opposite of the deposit of the balance value. We can add manual transaction, or when we make a payment or when we charge a customer, the new transaction is created. Why to use transactions? Because transactions are very important because it gives us the overview what happened with the balance of customer. So let's add a new payment for 300 and we can change the date, we can set up today, add it, and then go back to transactions, and we see that new transaction was added, and the deposit and balance, both of these values were changed. So the deposit is minus 700. So it means that customer must pay us 700. We see in also description of this transaction because it was a payment by cash, and I can generate, or I can make a bill, I can generate a charge a customer and generate an invoice if it's enabled. So let's do it from 1st of September. For 1 month we will charge 200 for our service internet ADSL. I click to bill and new transaction is added. Again, let's go down, and here is for 200, and the deposit is minus 900, and this is the service description. And deposit is minus 900 here. So we can also add a transaction for correction something or refund. So if we make a refund, it's a credit transaction, so it means that we need to receive payment from customer, let's say, but it's not a payment, we are giving him money back, and it's 900 refund for service, the price is 900, and we choose the category refund and add it. Here we can see that it changed. We have the right deposit, right balance, and right values now. We can sort it by ID, sort it by date, and if we check the billing overview, it will show us that deposit is 0 at the moment. This is the way how we work with transactions. You can always edit the transaction or delete it also. So if you go to finance, choose all our transactions, they are again sorted by ID at the moment. We can sort it by customer, and we can choose some transaction and view the detail. Let's go back to customer and let's remove the last transactions. When transaction is removed, it means that the charging the billing period is also removed. So we can recharge this customer because the period was removed. So that's what we want to do now, but we cannot do it because this transaction is linked with the invoice. First of all, I have to delete the invoice, then I can go back to my transaction and delete the transaction as well. I'm deleting the transaction, and here I can see that my deposit is minus 700, or balance is 700. Everything is back. So I can charge again this customer for a period of time that I want to charge him. What means add invoice from transaction? There are two ways how we can charge customer. We can charge customer with generating the invoice. It's a make invoice after to bill, or we can disable it, and then only transaction is generated. There is no invoice for it. And if we need, we can set up the invoice from particular transaction. Preview, yes, let's make more for 3 months, for example, for 600. Okay, and here the new transaction has been added for 600. But if we check the invoice, there is no invoice for 600. So it means that we charge customers without invoicing. We can do it manually. We can add invoice from transaction, number, and confirm add. So now transactions didn't change, but invoices did. So we haven't set up the PDF yet, but this is the invoice for 600. That's all. Thank you for your time.